Hey folks, Mad Outdoorsman here. Happy Halloween. Actually, it's Halloween every day in the ice cream man's America, ain't it? Yep, scary world we live in, folks. So I intended to go on a dare hunt, an afternoon dare hunt this afternoon, and hunt to sundown, and then go to my usual haunt, hangout, restaurant slash bar that I go to pretty much every Monday after my hunt is over, if I'm not harvesting anything, which is most of the time. I changed course, caught an audible. Gonna hang out with the girl tonight. Her and I, we work at the prison together, and she works day shift, I work second shift, and we have Mondays off together. So our schedule is tight. We don't really get to see each other too often, and she's actually really good on letting me get out and go hunting on Monday afternoons and then hanging out at night. But seeing that today's Halloween, you know, she wants to cuddle up in her Halloween pajamas and watch scary movies, or I don't know, she mentioned something about Hocus Pocus too. Folks, the Mad Outdoorsman does not wear Halloween PJs. All right, so let's just get that fucking shit straight right now. I'll be goddamned. All right. But yeah, you know, we're gonna hang out and watch some movies on this spooky Halloween. What do they say? Relationships are all about compromise. Yeah, great. All right. With all that said, folks, what I'm about to get ready to talk about, you know, it's really no laughing matter. I did mention in my last video that I wanted to talk about the gun bans up in Canada and how that may possibly affect us here at home in the U.S. But I've decided that I'm going to shelve that for right now. Not saying we're not going to talk about it in the near future. It's a topic that needs to be talked about. However, I feel that there's a more pressing need, and that is the pending diesel shortages here in the U.S. It's something that's been on the news. It's being talked about. It's something that can be quite concerning, and I feel that no matter what side of the aisle you're on, it's going to hit home. All right, so let's hop into it. I got some notes here, so I'm just going to refer to these notes here every now and then. But so according to the Energy Information Agency, or EIA, the U.S. is only holding enough stockpiles of diesel nationwide that is expected to last for about 3 weeks or even less time. All right. That memo from the EIA was put out on October 14th. All right. And a couple things I find interesting about this memo. All right. Now, if they're saying that 25 days from the date of the memo that this country is going to be out of diesel fuel, well, if you count 25 days from October 14th, what's that bring you to? Anybody? Brings you right to election day, doesn't it? November 8th. Interesting, ain't it? So that's one thing that stuck out. Because folks, you know, unless you got your heads buried in the sand, let's just face the facts that in my opinion, and I'm good with this, there's going to be a red wave. All right. I feel that the Republicans are going to take Congress back. And I believe that if this diesel shortage and us running out is something that's going to happen, you know, the Democrats are going to say, oh, well, look who's in charge. Here you go. You know, now the trucks ain't moving because diesel trucks largely depend on diesel fuel. So there you have it. All right. And what happens when the trucks stop moving, folks? All right. I'm going to give you a little hint. The trucks, all right, for you folks that are not into hunting and growing your own food and all that fun stuff, they deliver the goods to grocery stores. Okay. They also deliver home heating oil. All right. And me being from New England, living here in New England, we're going to be in a world of shit as far as trying to keep warm. All right. Right now, the average price of diesel fuel is at $5.32 a gallon. That's a 50% price hike, higher than this time last year. All right. There's already states here up north that are already rationing their diesel and their gasoline. All right. New York being one of them. All right. So, I mean, why is this happening? Well, the Biden administration, basically, they really don't know what the fuck to say about it. All right. They're saying all options are on the table. That's usually the cliche response when it comes to facing a crisis. But why is it happening? Well, for you green folks, all right, you should be, you know, clapping your hands and cheering us on, right? I mean, this is what you wanted, right? I mean, because it's basically, it's the ice cream man's, what he's doing is he's enforcing tighter restrictions on oil and gas levels. And as a result, refineries are closing down, okay? And they're closing down because the Environmental Protection Agency, the EPA, is deeming them high polluting facilities. Okay. So moving forward with that, you know, and that now they got these refineries, because of these regulations and the rules that are being put in place here by this administration, it's causing them to change up their maintenance procedures, okay? And these operators, these refinery operators, they're required to integrate new green technology in their operations. And this causes delays in the refineries, right? Into going back into full operations. You know, when a refinery has to perform maintenance or meet these guidelines, all right, that these clueless fucks in this administration is imposing on them, they have to close the refineries down to perform these maintenance procedures, all right? All operations are halted, right? So there you go. Diesel suppliers are struggling in the meantime. They're struggling to deliver the stocks to their customers. It's causing shortages, which why we're seeing an increase in the price of diesel fuel and home heating oil and all that stuff. So what's the ice cream man doing about it? Well, not too fucking much, folks. He came up with this brilliant idea of tapping the emergency fuel reserve here in New England. All right. You Google, like I said, folks, I'm not going to put my sources down at the bottom of my video like some creators do. I'm going to tell you right now what my sources are and where I'm getting my information from. And it's Google. You Google and you ask the question, is the U.S. going to run out of diesel fuel? And I'm going to tell you right now, all kinds of stuff's going to pop up. Legitimate news sources are going to be talking about this. Okay. So, again, yeah, so the ice cream man, and yeah, I call him the ice cream man, all right? Or sniffer in chief, or whatever you want to call him, but he's the ice cream man. All right, he's tapping the emergency fuel reserve here in New England. All right, and that reserve only holds 1 million barrels of fuel. Okay, and if he does that to address this problem of a diesel shortage, that 1 million barrels will run out in 6 hours. All right. So that's not even putting a fucking Band-Aid on it. All right. That's just blow on it, if it hurts, or drink some water or whatever. It's not even putting a fucking Band-Aid on it, right? And also I'm seeing news that the administration is calling for trucking companies to convert their fleets into electric vehicles. All right. I fucking can't with this guy. I really fucking can't. All right. It doesn't take a fucking rocket scientist. All right. I don't want to use the Lord's name in vain. All right. But hey, listen. I am who I am. All right. There's a reason why I'm called Mad Outdoorsman. All right. I have no filter. I tell it like it is. If you're a fucking softy, get the hell off my channel. If you can't handle real talk. All right. I don't live my life to fucking please people. All right. And another thing, folks, before I jump back into the current events here, I'm going to make something real clear right now. I'm not here to make money. All right. That's the God's honest truth. I am not here to make money on this channel. I could give a holy fucking shit about making money on this fucking channel. All right. I'm here in hopes, number one, to wake people up to the fact that it's not all rainbows and unicorns. That you can't rely on government, and that you need to prepare for the worst. All right. And my philosophy is hope for the best, prepare for the worst. And I will always drive that point home. All right. I'm here to also be a part of the prepping community and to put my 2 cents in and just get the message out there. Okay, folks. All right. So if you can't handle the truth and you're looking for somebody more soft, there's a shit ton of creators out there that will satisfy those needs for you. All right. But this is an unfiltered channel. All right. So again, I don't care about making fucking money. All right. So back to the current events. What's the problem with EVs or electric vehicles? Well, they're costly, and it would take years to come up with these replacements for these fleets. All right, so that's a bullshit idea right there. That's not feasible. All right. So. Am I going to sit here and say it's too late for some of you folks that just can't think outside the box? At this point, yeah, you bet your ass I am. All right. I got into prepping 2 years ago. All right, right around the peak of this pandemic. All right, when I was during the toilet paper wars, if you want to call it that. That was my wake up call. All right, that's when I knew, like, all right, listen, this really isn't gonna fucking end well. I should probably start thinking about prepping. So I started looking at prepping channels on YouTube and reading prepping articles, and that's pretty much what got the ball rolling for me. I got a lot of ideas. There's a lot of good information out there. Don't get me wrong, there's some folks out there that are just, tinfoil hat. They'll scare the death out of you. They'll come up with these, I'll call them hypothetical, make you believe that this shit's really gonna happen. Off the reservation shit, but I'm all about real talk. I see what's going on in front of me. All right, I'm not gonna come on here and come up with some fucking drop some line of bullshit on you, and all that fun stuff. You know, it's all about real talk. I got to give a shout out to John Davis over at Prepper Nation. All right, he is a huge creator on YouTube. He would probably take that as a humble approach or a response to that statement. I want to thank him. John, if you do watch this, I want to thank you for giving me a shout out on your channel. It's appreciated. But yeah, folks, go check out Prepper Nation. He knows his shit. And I know I've said this on my last videos, but yeah, I'm always going to give him a shout out. He's definitely an inspiration. Amongst other creators, but I already gave them a shout out. You go to my community section over on this channel, you'll see the channels that I have given shout outs to. But yeah, folks, I mean, are we going to run out of diesel fuel? I don't know. Maybe. I mean, it's being talked about. Can our refineries match the demand, meet the demand? All right. We all know that big rule of supply and demand, right? You know, hence the diesel prices right now. So everything's pointing at that we are behind the ball here. And we got what's going on across the creek. You know, we got this Russian-Ukraine war, or I'll call it proxy war, that the United States is fighting against Russia. We don't care about Ukraine. You know, we could give a rat's fucking ass about Ukraine, folks. All right, so get with the fucking program here. All right, this is not about the people of Ukraine. This is about us getting into a conflict, war, whatever you want to call it, with Russia. All right, and possibly China. All right, because they're up to no fucking good too. All right, it's a big ally of Russia. You know, and there is just a big fucking wedge being driven further and further deep every day when it comes to all three, Russia, China, and the U.S. It's getting ugly, folks. All right. We keep sending our supplies over there. We keep sending money over there. You know, this pipeline that blew up last month or earlier this month, or whatever it was. People in Europe, they're in a world of shit over there. There's going to be people that are going to freeze to death. All right? Probably thousands. All right? And if you think that cannot happen here at home, get with the fucking program. Because if this is all true with these diesel shortages and you're not prepared for it, I feel bad for you. I truly do. All right? So what can we do to get prepared for it? Well, I mean, little things really. Extra blankets. For you folks that have wood burning stoves, kudos to you, right? Because you're gonna need it. And you know, you got these buddy heaters that you can run, but I mean, you know, if you're gonna run those things indoors, make sure it's ventilated. You know, you got carbon monoxide concerns with those things if it's not ventilated. I do use those in my tent. I have on occasion, and I've always brought a carbon monoxide detector with me and opened up some ventilation for my tent. But yeah, extra blankets, those packs of hot hands, the toe warmers, stock up on that. And back to the fact that these trucks that deliver our food to the grocery stores, I mean, if they run out of fuel, there's no food on the shelves, all right? And that's when shit's gonna get real fucking ugly. I would advise you to stock up on your canned goods, your dry foods, any over-the-counter medicines, okay? Stock up on that. Prescription drugs, you know, make sure those are filled for you folks that are on prescriptions. It's gonna be, I'm gonna say it, it's gonna be interesting to see how this all unfolds. These midterms are a week away, 7-8 days away. We'll see how it goes. I mean, we can always sit back and wait. So hopefully you folks are prepared. And you're ready for what's to come. All right. If you like this video, I would greatly appreciate it. If you have not already, subscribe to my channel. Perhaps hit the thumbs up button. Leave a comment. I will read all my comments. And that's that. All right. Stay safe, stay alert. Mad Outdoorsman, thanks for watching.